Okay, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this episode, I bought a graphics card from CEX. Now, when you see what graphics card this is, you will understand why I bought it, because it is notoriously one of the internet's most popular and most memed about graphics cards. Now, you might have seen about a year ago, there was loads and loads of videos everywhere popping up about it, so I just had to go and buy it. So the price I paid for it was £165. Let me just open these two bags. As you can see, here we have the GPU. Now this GPU is the GTX 1080 Ti with 11 gigabytes of VRAM. So I'm just going to put up a clip from the launch of it so I can show you guys the release footage. Okay, so this is my PC with my RTX 5060 in it, and so what I'm going to have to do now is pull my PC out and unplug my 5060, because I need to take this GPU out to put this one in, because I don't have any other hardware that is good enough to support the full performance of the 1080 Ti. So this is perfect because it will evenly match up with my PC. So let's get into that now. To be fair, this GPU could also do with a bit of a clean. So we might do that in this episode as well. Just unplug the power connector, which is just one 8-pin. The 1080 Ti needs two 8-pins because it consumes quite a bit of power. Not too much, not like 50-90 sort of power, because that is ridiculous. But it's, put it this way, it's just enough that my PSU can support it without it becoming unstable. By the way guys, this is the 5060 that I have. This is like, when I got this graphics card, it was kind of like the best thing I'd ever seen at the time. Because I had a 4060 before, but it was just a 2-fan variant, and I really wanted something that looked a bit better as well as just slight better performance. So that's why I went for the 5060 in the first place, because as you can see, this is quite a good looking GPU. It's got the RGB fans, the RGB lighting in certain places, not on the side, but yeah, it's quite a cool looking graphics card. It's not a bit dusty because I've kind of not cleaned it for a while, but yeah, I love this graphics card. It's quite cool. Pretty sure I still left the pills on the fans as well, but I might just leave them on there for now. I have noticed that my PC is very dirty, but oh well. I've also noticed that on the side of this GPU, they've still got the pills on that. So, you know what, they've been there since like 2017, 2018, so I'm actually just going to leave them there, which is unusual for me. Any other day, I just kind of take them off. So let's put our 1080 Ti in there, and I might want to put the GPU sag bracket support thing back in here too, just in case somewhere. It needs a bit of adjustment, because there we go, that'll do just for this video. And we can plug in the GPU, screw it in and plug it in and test it. Okay, so there it is, all plugged in. Now I have left the side panel off because I just want to kind of get some clips of the graphics card. Yeah, my PC is dirty. But yeah, I'm going to be running this dual monitor. One monitor is 1080p, the other's 1440p. So essentially, I'm just replacing my graphics card that I use every day with the 1080 Ti. By the way guys, just before we turn on the PC and the graphics card, I'd just like to remind you, if you are enjoying this video, to like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment on what you thought about this video. I do try to reply to all of them. Also, I'd just like to thank everyone for the support on the latest video. I was very surprised with the performance of that. And now let's get into testing the graphics card. Now that is pretty cool. We've got the like the RGB lighting on the top. It's pretty sick. Now my fans aren't, they are connected, but the RGB, I need to set it in Windows, so I'll set that up and we'll get some sick detail shots. Okay, so the first game that I'm going to be benchmarking on the GTX 1080 Ti is CS2, also known as Counter-Strike 2. So this is just some brief gameplay. Now, I'm not very good at it, see. I'll make that FPS in the corner a little bit larger. The gameplay so far is quite smooth, even though you've got all the flashes, the shooting, etc. The FPS is quite stable. The graphics quality is very good. I'm pretty sure this is high to like, near like max settings. It's somewhere between high and max, from what I remember. Obviously, this card isn't an RTX, so it has no ray tracing, which is one of the limitations of it. But the 11 gig of VRAM really helps it like stay competitive with modern gameplay, even though it's nearly 10 years old. Because this graphics card, remember, came out in 2017. So now that's 2026 and almost halfway through 2026. That means it's nearly been 10 years since start of 2017, which is quite a while. But yeah, as you can see, the gameplay is very stable, very smooth. I haven't really noticed any dips in frame rate at all. Even with like lots of particles and stuff like that, and lots of meshes, it's not really dropped any FPS at all. Even like with the smoke and all that, it's still very good. But overall, quite impressed with the performance of this card. As you can see, we're averaging about, say, from what I can see, it's very small, about 150 FPS maybe. So you can see that for yourself. It'll be like larger on the screen. Yeah. Now we're just going to move on to some Forza Horizon 5. I believe I just put it on high settings because it wasn't handling very well on like my settings for my 5060. Obviously the 5060 is about 30 to 40% faster in terms of like performance than the 1080 Ti, even though it's got 3 gig less VRAM. So the 5060 that I have has 8 gig of VRAM, and the, as mentioned, 1080 Ti has 11 gig, which I think is why it was such a popular graphics card, even in modern standards. Unfortunately, it is falling off a bit now, but it's not too bad. But yeah, we're averaging about 120 to 130 FPS on higher settings in Forza Horizon 5. Now, I would love to test this on Forza Horizon 6, but unfortunately that comes out in like a couple weeks, and to be honest, I'm not going to wait an extra couple weeks just to test it on a new game. If you guys would like me to test some cards on Forza Horizon 5, 6 even, I might make a separate video testing graphics cards like my 5060, 1080 Ti, and like another higher spec card on just solely Forza Horizon 6 and comparing them to each other, which would be quite an interesting video. So if you guys do want that, let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can cook something up. But yeah, the quality in the gameplay is very smooth, very stable. We're getting some decent frame rates as well. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with the performance of the graphics card. So even though the game's pretty much fallen off by now, I thought, you know what, we'll just try some Fortnite, because why not? I mean, it's a good game to benchmark on, so it's available on pretty much everything. I mean, you've got it mobile, PS4, PS5, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. It's literally everywhere, and it's free to play. You know, a wide range of settings. So I put it on the max settings, or what I believe is the max settings, and we're just going to see how it performs. The gameplay is very smooth, and the FPS is the same, pretty stable. It's pretty low, but then again, it is maximum settings, which is the settings I use for my 5060, just because I didn't want to tweak them too much. Yeah, I'm not really going to voice over too much of this. I'll just kind of let you watch. I'll try my best to have some decent gameplay, but I'm not much of a sort of battle royale player or shooting games in general. I mostly play car games, and I haven't played Fortnite in ages. But yeah, we'll just see how the graphics cards temps are in Fortnite and how stable the FPS is over like 20 minutes of playtime. I think this match lasted maybe 15-20 minutes. Obviously I trimmed it down a bit, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so obviously you guys just watched the bits of the Fortnite footage, and I'd say I'm quite impressed with how it's handled, considering it's an older card. Obviously it came out about the same time as the original release of Fortnite, but we're running Fortnite at maximum settings. Bearing in mind, guys, I did mention at the start, but just in case you forgot, this is running 1440p. All these games are running at 1440p resolution, so that's not too bad for the price of the graphics cards, which are £165, so not too bad. So the final game that we're going to be testing in this episode is a GTA 5 Enhanced. So this is the higher sort of tier in quality terms of GTA. Obviously 1440p. I'm not too sure what the settings are, but they're pretty high. The settings I run on my PC with the 5060 installed, so I would say, I mean, on my 5060 I probably average near 180 FPS sort of thing. So we'll see the frame rate. I'll zoom in obviously on the frame rate, but in the garage, which is usually more sort of graphics intense because you've got more reflections and the quality's sort of a bit better, it was quite smooth. I didn't notice any dips or anything. So I'm just really going to drive around at night time, see what FPS we get, and then we'll drive around in daytime and see if there's much difference. There might be, there might not be. I'll probably end up crashing a few times, so I'll make sure I include those, see if it drops in FPS, etc. But again, I'm just going to let it kind of play through a bit. I'll try to trim it down a little bit because I don't want it to take too long for you guys, but shouldn't be too bad. So let's get into it. Okay, so you guys saw the footage. It ran pretty well. I can't remember off the top of my head what the FPS was like, but I think it was about 100 to 120. Obviously in enhanced 1440p with quite high settings. Not too bad. Yes, technically the game originally released in 2013, but GTA Enhanced released in, 2025, maybe late 2024. Not too sure, but I'm pretty sure it's 2025. So, you know, and obviously it's adapted quite a lot since the original release in terms of graphics quality and all that sort of stuff. Considering that this graphics card has no frame generation like the 5060 and no ray tracing like the 5060, it's handling really well for its sort of time, and especially for the price point as well, which I paid on more of the higher end for a 1080 Ti. I paid £165, but that's obviously because I got it through CX, which is on the higher end of prices anyway, just purely because they have 5-year warranty and they're a business rather than a private seller. So I'm literally just going to jump into the water, see if that sort of affects anything. Not really, it's kind of still around the same sort of frame rate. Maybe drops like 5 FPS at maximum from getting in that water, but it really wasn't too bad. Yeah, now that it's more daytime, I haven't really noticed much change in FPS, maybe just a couple frames from being able to maybe see more, but realistically it's not much of a difference. And in terms of playability, this is like 10 out of 10 playable. 1080p would probably be getting near enough 180, which is the max refresh rate for my monitor anyway. But anything above 60 is definitely playable, and I'd very happily like use it every day. Obviously I'm not going to, because I've got my 5060, which I'll probably get a few comments about. 5060 is not that good, but you know, 1080 Ti, 5060, good comparison there. I'd say they're on equal sort of terms. Yes, the 5060 is faster, but it lacks VRAM, which is not great for being such a new card, only having 8GB of VRAM, whereas the 1080 Ti has the 11, which is beneficial in some scenarios. But I'm just going to literally just walk into the casino, do my daily spin, and that'll pretty much be the end of this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. Maybe add some comments about things I can improve upon and things you liked in the video, and things that you think I did well on, because it's good to always improve on my content. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I hope you guys potentially even learned something in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.